Long before his role on Black Panther, Cyrus Birch was helping at-risk teens in Quintin County. And today, he still does. I speak exclusively with Cyrus for a special edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And be sure to download the free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores. And listen to this interview later on iHeartRadio. Cyrus Birch, it is so good to meet you, man.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, anytime. You're very welcome. I know that we were just talking off camera, and you are a busy guy.
Yeah. Thank God.
Yes, indeed. Absolutely. You're right about that. And I'm wondering this. What is it like to be you these days, Cyrus Birch?
Wow. What's it like to be me? I'm just an ordinary guy with the willingness to make a difference. So what is it like to be me? That's a hard question. Nobody's ever asked me that. Tugged and pulled in various directions, but trying my best to, just walk out my passion and walk out my purpose, and doing that at the expense of my own personal self at times. But it's very fulfilling.
Yeah.
Very fulfilling. I'm very honored and grateful that I could be able to just affect change in, underserved communities, and just be able to use my platform to open my mouth, and people are interested in listening to what comes out.
You talk about purpose. I got to take you to Anderson County.
Yeah.
I know that recently you urged a lot of the kids there at an MLK event to pursue their special purpose.
Yeah.
Let me ask you personally, what is your special purpose right now?
My purpose is to do what I'm doing now, to be a sounding board for those who may not have a voice according to societal norms, to serve the underserved community, which of course encompasses at-risk youth as well as single parents, to just serve those who are less fortunate. So me doing that, along with all these motivational speaking engagements that I've been having, that's completely me walking out my purpose, man.
And I went back and read the article from Paul Bowers, April 13, 2018. And obviously, he talked about the headline saying, before you landed a role in Black Panther, that is, you spent 10 years working with at-risk teens, particularly down in Carleton County, at Carleton County High School.
Yeah.
When you look back at that to right now, and particularly with your Hollywood fame, what still plays in your mind?
The fact that was the breeding ground for where I am now.
Okay.
It was the catalyst. And it's amazing how life works out. I'm a believer, I'm a Christian. So
right.
I just believe that all of our steps are ordered. And it's amazing now to see how 10 years ago, when I had no clue that something like this would take place in my life, how that right there has molded me to the man I am now. So now with the platform, I take the experience from 10 years ago along with the platform, put those two things together, and now I have, this passion that I have now. So I don't take those for granted at all. Those years molded me and established me, and really got my heart and my mind in sync to do what it is that I'm doing now, just on a grandiose scale.
Where is your heart and mind when it comes to at-risk teens right now?
Oh gosh, like that's Roses and Concrete, my nonprofit, is built off of that. It's built off of at-risk teens, and I firmly believe that teens are at risk oftentimes because they feel like they're not heard. They feel like they're not loved. They feel like the familial structure, that family structure, has been lost, and they find it in other places. They find it in drugs. They find it in gangs. They find it in whoever's willing to embrace. And so what I've learned is that if you would just sit, oftentimes this generation, our youth, our citizens of tomorrow, they're speaking, but they're just speaking in a different language. So sometimes we just sit and listen. We'll be able to hear exactly what they're saying because they're crying out for help.
What other help does really do the at-risk teens right now need in your mind?
Like I said, they need a listening ear. They need resources. And they also, most importantly, need to be able to look at themselves in the mirror and see what it is that they're going to be. Not where they are, but what they're going to be. Because once an individual can project in their mind what they're going to be, the right now circumstance carries very little to no weight at all. And that's my job, especially in underserved communities.
Cool.
It's very easy to see yourself as a product of your environment. It's very easy to. Because I remember growing up in an underserved community. So it was very easy to say, I'm going no further than this. This is all I have. Let me finish school, make my mom proud, make my grandma proud, and go out and get a job. If that's not where your mind is, if you want to be greater than that, you can be. But it starts with you looking in the mirror and telling yourself first, I can be that esthetician. I can be that doctor. I can be that surgeon. It might take some sacrificing, and it might take me stepping out of the norm because, in underserved communities, there's like a cyclical effect, a generational thing that you have to break in order to step out and get to certain places that you want to get to in your life. And if a teen is exposed to that, is encouraged and motivated to do that, if a youth is encouraged to do that, I feel like the sky's the limit, man. I feel like the sky's the limit.
Let me ask you this hard question.
Sure.
What motivates you these days?
Oh, man. My children. I have a son and 2 daughters.
Yes.
And I refuse to have my children be brought up the way that I was. I refuse to. And so, my upbringing taught me and molded me, into the individual I am. So I'm very grateful for it.
Yes.
But if I, as a man, as an African-American man, can take an African-American young man and 2 African-American young women and raise them up so that they can see that, but not be a part of that, and use that as a catalyst for success, then I feel like I've done my job. My motivation is in my children, man. I want them to wake up every morning and say, that's my dad. My dad is doing this. My dad is doing that. And in turn, will encourage them and motivate them to not only just do what I've done in my lifetime, but to do above and beyond what I've done in my lifetime.
What is it like for your kids to look up at the screen and say, hey, that's my dad on Black Panther?
That's cool, especially for my oldest. My son, he's 16. And, a 16-year-old is not going to tell you, Dad, you cool. But they'll do stuff like they'll get a snippet of you and they'll put it on their Snapchat.
Right.
There goes my pops. Right. Something like that. And then they'll send you a message.
Yes.
That's like their way of saying, dude, you all right with me?
Right.
Or come back from school and just tell me messages that some of his friends may say, or some things they might say to him about me. So it's very rewarding. I am humbled and I am grateful, man. I'm tired, but I'm grateful.
Wow. And I know that obviously, with the Black Panther came a lot of change in your life. Mm-hmm. How have you changed since this particular movie?
Just to be honest with you, because let me give you some good stuff since we're on this show. It's made me more, it's made me quieter. It's made me more introspective, and it's made me more vigilant. I watch my surroundings a lot more than I used to. Before this happened, I would say a little carefree. I could hang out and just be myself. I still can be myself, but now it's just more of a guarded version. If I'm making any sense, okay. A more guarded version of myself, just because everybody, and I've learned this over the past year and a half or so. Well, past year, everybody doesn't have your best interest at all times, so you just have to protect yourself. And now I have to look at myself, which I didn't before. I have to look at myself as a brand now. Mm-hmm. And my mentor taught me that. He told me, he said, you're not just who you were when you were teaching. Now you're a brand, and you have a platform. And it's like you have to kind of govern yourself accordingly. So it's just made me more aware, and it has definitely humbled me because I don't consider myself to be a celebrity or anything like that, man. I'm just using my platform along with my willingness to try to make a difference in the lives of all at-risk youth and underserved communities that I can possibly come in contact with. Yeah.
Your future.
Mm-hmm.
Your platform.
Mm-hmm.
How do you want people to describe you and your future and your platform?
I want people to say that man died exhausted. Because I firmly believe that once you start walking in your purpose, once you find that and you walk in your purpose, you exhaust yourself in your purpose. I feel like that's my goal on this earth, is to exhaust myself in my purpose. My purpose not only is to love humanity and love my neighbor like I would want them to love myself, but my purpose is also to teach someone to take their frustration, because their frustration is the very thing that they've been placed on this earth to help solve, and take their skill and their ability, their talent, and you intertwine your frustration with your talent, and that right there is your purpose. And you find that and you exhaust yourself in it. So what I want to be remembered for Cyrus Birch is that, and I hate speaking in third person, but what I want to be remembered for me is that that man died exhausting himself in his purpose, not neglecting anything.
Sure.
Because I feel like God always provides balance and great parameters for individuals who are willing to walk out what they feel like he wants them to walk out, but exhausting myself in my purpose, man.
What would you tell God about you now?
Oh man, well, God knows everything about me. What would God tell me about me? That's a question. I would just tell God about me. Tell God about me now. You got some good questions, man. Where do you come up with this stuff? Hold on, let me take a sip of my coffee. You gotta warn me before you cut the lights on. I would tell God about me that I'm broken and I'm contrite. You know, contrition, I feel like, is where we're supposed to be as humanity, and a broken spirit, I feel like, is what He needs so that He can mold it back into what He desires for it to be. So I would tell Him that I'm broken, I'm contrite, and my heart is, my heart and my motives are lined up in the right place, and I would tell Him that I hope I make Him proud.
Proud. Yeah, I think you are.
Yeah, man. I hope I am. I really hope I am.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Well, the Honorable Cyrus Birch. Thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate this.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yeah.